Hello, Francesco, how are you doing? So we've had a little bit of issues on the live stream with some quality, so I'm actually hard wired today from the get-go. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get better here. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if the stream seems good. Give me some feedback. I just want to make sure that this stream is at least doing pretty good quality. Maztec, how you doing? Francesco, Chris, Lucid, how you doing? Can I talk about Golem? You know what? We have the technology. We can do that. Let's go look at Golem. I forget Golem's symbol. Let's check it out though. GNT? Haha, I remembered. How you guys doing? Any good trades today? Any ones you're looking at setting up? Looks like Golem. Looks like it made a move here to the upside. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. I almost want to go back down to the 15-minute chart. So not too crazy. Maybe we put in a handle here. This could be a type of, could turn into a cup with handle. Hard to say, but after a big down draw like this, it usually doesn't rocket back up. You may get a bounce and then a fall back down, but I would say any trade this close to a large down draw would be short-lived. So Byron Rogers. Byron, how you doing, buddy? So thanks for watching. Check it out. Like it if you like the video. Subscribe if you like it even more. And I pretty much go over just everything in the market, what you guys want to talk about if I see something specific. Yeah, really just kind of talk about all kinds of stuff. I don't necessarily have a syllabus, if you will. Do I like Sia coin and XZC? I think I have XZC down here. That's the one that XZC actually, our buddy Frederick pointed that out over here. I thought I had a position in it, but my order didn't go through apparently because I woke up to Bitcoin still in my account and no Zcoin. So I kind of missed out on this nice boat, 20-25%. So a little upset about that. I haven't been making a lot of trades lately just because the market's so indecisive. And the stock market seems to be working really well for me right now. So I'm doing a lot of options trades over there while keeping an eye on cryptocurrencies till the overall market breaks out. Then I'll get a lot more involved. When things are really choppy like this, I tend not to take a lot of trades. I can get in a lot of trouble personally, so I generally don't do that. XDN, Adam mentioned XDN. You guys just saw there. Yeah, so what's going on here? This looks like we have some nice increasing volume. In Zcoin, this move probably isn't done. Probably is not done. Looks like we're just stair-stepping higher. Maybe get a large pop at some point. This probably could be good for potential entry. Even if we get back up here, that's like what, a 30% move. Yeah, even if we get back to these highs up here at the $15 level, that's pretty good. Then someone mentioned Sia coin. I think I called it Sia coin. XLM, are they doing something? Lumen, 6% today. Why is everybody all over Lumen? Is there some news or something? Not particularly liking this action in Lumen. So most of these coins came off of this low and were very aggressive. This has really been not aggressive, and it kind of has a channel forming here that doesn't really make me feel warm and fuzzy. Is that clone? There we go, clone. Yeah, so it's stuck in a channel right here. Maybe we go back up here, you get a 16, 17, 20% move. Hey man, some of these are good for trades. I can't knock you guys for taking trades. I've been saying we're open for trading, so go ahead and do that. Rise has been looking good. Rise has been making some moves. Do I have it down here? There it is. Rise Bitcoin, but we'll look at it. Yeah, Rise was, I saw it in this consolidation yesterday, but I really wasn't into trading personally. So we've had a nice 25% move. So that's been pretty nice in Rise. Nice volume here. A few selling bars kind of accompanying, which is really tapering this move up into up into Rise. But it looks like, let's go to the daily chart. Yeah, it's a recent ICO. But this is yeah, this is a move right here, guys. This is a big move. But after a big candle such as this one, let me zoom in. Don't know if you guys are on what you guys are viewing on, but after a really big candle like this and a nice consolidation, the volume got lighter. Then we have a nice volume pop right here. This is a really good time to get in on Rise. Oh, this bar. Never mind. I thought the volume was here, but it was over here. So yeah, it may be a little hard pressed for this high to get eclipsed at this moment in time, but definitely yeah, look at that volume. Just lots of volumes, a lot of selling in here, which is why it closed towards the bottom, didn't close towards the top. If you notice where we closed towards the top, we proceeded higher. So yeah, that looked pretty good. Looks like the move was kind of down there at the bottom. Frederic, I see you there, buddy. Yep, you did call out that XZC. I still can't say that correctly. And good job on that one. I thought I took a position, but my order never went through. So I woke up this morning to Bitcoin in my account instead of the Zcoin. Frederick has been a pretty good student in the chat room overall, learning a lot, calling out some really good coins, getting good with the price action and the volume. So good job there, Frederick. Keep at it, buddy. Sia coin, yes, sorry, Lucid. Sorry about that. I did kind of forget it. Every time I look at Sia coin, I'm disappointed. I think that's probably why. Oh, is it right there? Oh, it's right above Rise. Every time I look at this coin, I'm just kind of disappointed. People mention it quite a bit, and it's just never really anything that I see any value in. You're living at in this little bottom level. This is, I would nix this from your existence until if it crosses this 54, 55 level here. So this level was supported. It was supported again here. It broke this level, and if you notice, the same level has been resistance. So it's been resisting going around this 55 level. So until it can get back above there, I don't think it's worth your money. The coin needs to prove to you that it's worth investing in, not the other way around. You don't blindly put money into coins. It needs to prove that it's worth your investment. DCR and Ripple. Tyler's doing abs at the gym right now and watching. So everyone do a sit-up for Tyler. Everyone do a sit-up for Tyler. Then he doesn't have to do as many. We'll all pull the weight for him. So DCR, let's take a look at DCR. I don't know if I have that on my... Oh, yeah, I've got DCR. I'm just going to start trading off of Frederick's signals here. He's got a lot more time to look at the charts than I do, it seems. On the 2-hour, well, I like it a lot more down here at this 33 level. We have kind of a head and shoulders pattern here. A bit of a head and shoulders with kind of a neckline. I guess you could draw it all the way up here, but that's kind of sloppy. Just kind of want to draw it there, so it's not so crazily sloping upwards. It's really hard to get a feel for a trend. This big selling bar right here, I don't like the volume on that, so that's not looking so hot. But if you're already in it, I say let it inch higher, since you're already kind of consolidating since this volume bar, or since this price bar, and you are testing these highs over here between 42 and 44. So let's zoom out on this 2-hour chart. Yeah, still a lot of choppy action here. It kind of reminds me of like this type of action, right? It kind of reminds me like this. Like here's a bottom. So you can kind of infer head and shoulders right there. I guess I can zoom in and make it a little more apparent. So here's a bit of the same pattern. You see here we have a high, a lower high, and a higher high. and then we pop up, and then we just go sideways. But you get a big shakedown, and anytime you're in a situation like this where you're under prior highs and it's just overall choppiness, there's a definite chance of being shaken out. So if you're going to trade like this, trade definitely on the shorter term time frames, and always look, I wouldn't be holding for an extremely long time, because there's really nothing screaming, I'm going to go up 400%. Not really covering any specific cryptos, Tyler. You guys are asking, so I'm kind of answering questions. In terms of my point of view, I mean, everything, it's some of these smaller coins are running. That's obvious, right? We saw Internet of People just make us all sick because we didn't catch the run. That was up 500% in 2 days, so that was insane. We have seen Rise do some things. We've seen this XLM make a 20% run. So we've seen these nice runs in some of these smaller coins. But I'm actually, for me personally, I'm looking to take a core position in Ethereum. Would be my ideal coin, and I'm looking for some confirmation to the upside. We've really just been, sitting here at these trend lines on pretty much all these top coins. So let's look at Bitcoin. There's this declining trend line based off of these 2 points, and it failed here. It failed here again this morning, overnight, whenever that was. So it failed again over here, and then Ethereum's failing. Although I don't know if Ethereum is failing, but it's definitely not. It's not moving upward. So sideways action could be constructive. It just depends what happens after the sideways action is done. If it's constructive, then it's going to go up. If it's lack of buying pressure, then it's going to go down. So it just kind of depends. Bitcoin Cash had a run yesterday. It looks like most of that was faded, and it was. So we came back into the breakout level. Let's zoom out a bit on Bitcoin Cash. So yeah, Bitcoin Cash, we have a declining trend line. And look at that. Pretty much held it to the penny. Pretty much held it to the penny. So, we are still kind of in a downtrend right now. Doesn't mean we're going to tank. It just means we're not going to go up explosively in some of these larger coins. Ripple, the same thing. We're still living below this trend line. Litecoin, I think, started popping up above it, but looks like it's failing it again. Dash looked like it popped above it this morning. It still may be above it. It is. So Dash looks like it's the first one to try to make a run for it. We'll just see if the cops can catch it or not. So yeah, Dash had a nice volume pop. You see that? Kind of broke this trend line. Dash had a nice volume pop. Look at that volume. So that's kind of sustaining it up here. And we'll just kind of have to wait and see if there's more accumulation to be had. But the moves in Dash are going to be a little less exaggerated than you're used to seeing with the smaller coins. Like even at its top price here, you're looking at about a 20 to 25% gain. Shorter term, you're going to have resistance right here at this 371 level, and I think that's only going to give you like a 9% gain. So IOTA popped above that 50 level. If you're a long-term holder in IOTA and you got in below 50, man, God bless you. But that's yeah. So IOTA's not behaving too badly right here, but we still see this trend line kind of being held here in IOTA. If we go back, so we still have this long-term trend line in place, and most of these have that same pattern. NEM still underneath its trend line. Monero still underneath. So I mean, pretty much everything. OmiseGO is an outlier. It's had such a crazy run since its ICO that it doesn't have any kind of pattern up here. It's been just chopping around, taking gains and stuff like that. Adam was mentioning XDN. Let's look at XDN. Adam's mentioning XDN. So these are smaller coins, guys, that could maybe make a run. Oh, there's some nice volume in XDN. That's not bad right there. Kind of sitting at some highs. Not too bad. I like the volume. I like the volume so far. Let's see if it gets faded. We do have some nice volume over here, but that got faded into over here. So XDN, Not too bad. I don't know if I'll be trading an XDN. Personally, it's just a bit too choppy, a bit too small. I like to see more constructive action. Although, on a positive note, we do have a trend line here that's been broken, basically. So, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. But it does have a history of fading these. So here's a similar action. We have a trend line here, consolidation, then a pop. So these moves tend to get faded. A lot of X coin symbols these days I've seen. Frederick mentions BitShares. Kabichi wants it as well. We'll do that. All right, so we'll do BTS, and I can tell you XDG, how long can it go down? Coins can go down forever. They can just continue going down. BTS and VTC, let's look at those real quick. It's BitShares. I believe I have BitShares somewhere. Not liking it. I'll tell you right now, not liking it. Sitting down here in this lower... Guys, if you see coins at lows like this, don't get excited. Just don't. Unless you want to lose money. XDG sounds like Oleg may have a position, so let's review that for him. What is this coin? Only trades on Kraken? That seems kind of scary. Ah! Ugh. So, yeah, these can go down forever, buddy. There's no expiration date on negative. So, you're getting down to all-time lows down here at, what is this, the 16 level? We're at 22, so it's going to go down like another 33% possibly till it hits lows. Yeah, so there you go. Maybe it gets down to 16. I don't know. No one's going to tell you how far it's going to drop. It's going to drop until someone buys it. That's really all I can say there. If you've got a position in it, if it's really small, I don't know, maybe you hold it. But it only trades on Kraken, it looks like. So it's going to be very, very illiquid. That's not a very good trade to take even. And if you do, make it a very small bit of your account. Ripple, is it a long-term coin? That's an opinion. I guess if a long-term coin means you hold it for the long term, that's an opinion. That's just an opinion. It's hard to trade opinions. You can have beliefs in opinions, but they only mean something to you. They don't mean something to pretty much anyone else. Did I look at BitShares for you guys? I think I did. Yeah, I think I looked at BitShares, didn't I? Yeah, so you see all this volume since it pretty much started breaking down. That is a definite negative. Yeah, don't buy anything sitting in lows like this. Don't go bottom fishing. Just don't do it. What kind of pattern am I looking for in Ethereum? I'm looking for some strength and conviction to the upside is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for strength and conviction. And that's not necessarily a pattern. We have some patterns in Ethereum, but there's no strength and no conviction. And, you know, I still see bearish signals overall in the market when you look at the big picture. And the big picture at any moment in time can trump a short-term trade. At any moment in time, your short-term trade can become... you know, can just get rolled over by the market. first coin. Is that actually a 1? Oh, it's actually a 1. First blood. Didn't know you could have... what do you expect me to say here? Can be zoomed in. I can already see this is kind of a... Why do you guys get interested in these really, really tiny coins that are sitting at lows? You guys are always bringing these coins to me. I need to... And you need to start to... How do I explain this to you guys? Yeah, I need to get my trading courses out there, because a lot of you guys are sharp and, you know, mention some good coins, but sometimes you guys just mention coins. I don't know if you find them on Twitter, on a forum somewhere, but I mean, there is some nice volume right here. And this may be worth keeping an eye on, but at the same time, it's really just sitting down here at a low. I mean, it may be good for a trade at some point. So the only good thing I can see here probably is, like, this could possibly be a cup and a handle situation right here. This could possibly be a cup and a handle. The only problem is there's no prior uptrend. You know, a cup with a handle should have an uptrend associated with it. So, you know, you're rising on volume, which is good. Then you're declining, and then you curl back up with, and this has good volume on that upswing. Don't get me wrong. Then we have a handle with declining volume. So if you want to play it for a trade, maybe over this 40-cent level, kind of going on up. But, you know, I wouldn't do it for a longer term hold, and I really like to look for the long term holds. Yeah, a lot of green pops, but this is a coin you're really going to have to you're going to have to actively manage this coin. This has the potential to be a time suck. You know, it just really has the potential to suck a bunch of time out of your day, and just really really keep you on your toes, because there's no clear skies ahead. There's no... So here's that digital note someone mentioned earlier. This looks pretty decent out of this declining trend line with some volume coming in here now. You know, maybe for a trade going up here. You know, 25%. See, that has a clear defined target that's pretty good, and you see some volume action here. So that's not bad. But these things kind of have a short shelf life. So yeah, I'm looking for something that I can really just pile money into and have an easy management style. So long term is actually, if you're going to trade for long term, you have to. For me, long term is until the trade is over. Okay, so I would ideally like to buy. Let's say Ethereum pops here pretty soon. I would like to buy Ethereum at 300 and sell it at 600. That's what I would like to do. I'm not holding anything right now, Lucid. I'm still in cash. Litecoin potential cup and handle forming. What time frame? I don't see a cup with handle here. Maybe very small, maybe a 15-minute chart. So right here, you think this could be a cup with a handle? So to me, it doesn't look like a cup with a handle. It kind of looks like a head and shoulders pattern that broke out, and it didn't quite meet its actual pattern. Would take it up to 55, 50 or so. It looks like kind of a failed head and shoulders, but in its defense, we are back to this breakout point. So if you can get some support here, you know, maybe this goes back up to this level. It's only a 3% gain, but this, to me, this doesn't appear to be a cup with a handle. It's an inverted head with shoulders. Also, you really don't have that prior uptrend. This is a cup with a handle. You see this uptrend right here. So here's kind of a cup with a handle. Then here's a cup with a handle right here. This is kind of your handle, but it didn't work out. It came up and failed, and it's been kind of failing ever since. 10x versus metal. Okay, so 10x lately, the chart has kind of really been horrendous. I've been very disappointed with their chart. It's really just gone flat, doesn't have much of an up curve to it. So like Ethereum popped here off of these lows, went sideways, popped again, is kind of consolidating up here. Pay has been lagging in that sense, really not doing a whole lot. So it just looks like it has some support at this 190 level. Looks like it has a little bit of support here. The volume's very anemic though. It really needs to move and do something. And metal looks worse. So there's no defined chart pattern here. If I saw metal right here, and see this well-defined uptrend, and then you have kind of a sideways action right here, I would probably say keep an eye on it for a breakout up here. But then it shook out all the way down here. Kind of gave you a nice bottoming candle on some decent volume, and then proceeded to go higher. So you know you have a trade kind of around this entry area in metal, but I mean even that run was kind of anemic, about a 10% run. Looks like not even that, about a 7% run, and then it failed. When you guys don't have well-defined, well-formed bases, trading is going to be difficult. I looked at IOTA a little bit ago. Let's look at it again, and then SAN. So here's the thing with oh, do you say OmiseGO? Oh, okay. So let's do IOTA. Let's do SAN, IOTA, and OmiseGO. I've got SAN in here somewhere, I think. Now I'll type it in. SAN, interesting, not bad. Some decent volume. I'm on the 15-minute. Let's go out to the 2-hour chart. Yeah, see, this is interesting, right? You have a nice volume signature down here with an uptrend, and then you have a nice nice handle forming up here, or a flag, depending on what you want to call it, and definitely could get some action. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. This is ICO. Okay, recent ICO, at least on Bitfinex, recent ICO. Have a higher low in place, so that's good. This is good charting right here, guys. Most of the stuff that you're asking about is crap. This is a pretty good chart. So let's do this. We have I'm not saying this is going to run and I'm excited to buy it. I'm saying this is at least an interesting chart to kind of discuss, okay? So we have the ICO. We came down, we had a low, a little bit of a higher low. I'll call that a double bottom. And then we have another higher low happening here. And we've already breached this level here at this 34-cent level on some pretty good volume, and now we're consolidating. This isn't exceptional volume, but this is at least something interesting to look at that is showing some recent accumulation, breaching some, kind of a prior base, a prior base, and breaching some resistance levels. So this is fairly interesting. I'm not saying it's going to run. 36% to the upside, 50% going all the way up and past there. It's, mooning and all that stuff. So this is one to keep an eye on. This isn't too bad. This is not too bad. IOTA and OmiseGO. So let's go to IOTA. IOTA is looking interesting, although I'm not. It's holding above that 50-cent level. That 50-cent level in IOTA is going to be a big psychological level just because it's 5-0. It's 50 cents. For some reason, every time I click on these, I have to click them twice. I have too many. Let me get rid of these lines so it's a little bit more simple to see what's happening. Get rid of all this clutter. I'll get rid of this clutter. Okay, I'll keep the 50-cent line, and I'll keep this overall declining trend line. So looking at the big picture of IOTA, this is its all-time low. We came up, we have a higher low now, so this is going to give us a nice point for IOTA to never touch this trend line right here. So if IOTA gets to this trend line, you buy it, because if you guys weren't listening, I think I mentioned, I don't remember when I mentioned this, but inclining trend lines usually form a floor, and if they're tested and they fall, then that's very bearish. But if they get to this inclining trend line, then it's a buy signal. If you have a declining trend line like this and it crosses the declining trend line, that is a buy signal. Doesn't mean it's going to run up like mad. It just means that the overall downtrend is over, And we've seen this happen a lot of times. This gets busted, has a nice pop, and then comes back down and goes sideways for a while. So at least if it breaks the declining trend line, you can kind of be sure that the major selling is probably over. But IOTA is still under here, but we do have a pretty good definite low in place at this 36, and man, it tested it over here. Holy crap, it tested it twice. I didn't notice that. I really haven't been paying attention to IOTA, to be honest with you. Tested it twice, so this is like the best double bottom of all time probably. So this low is in. This is a low. If this crosses this 36, this is a dead coin. At least in my opinion, this would be a very dead coin if that gets crossed to the downside. So we're in a nice consolidation level up here. We need to see it break this trend line with volume to the upside. Maybe we come back down and test 50 again and come up. I mean, that's a possibility. We still have this white gap between this 50-cent line and this declining trend line. So, you know, we're still in a holding pattern with IOTA too. And OmiseGO. Here's the thing with OmiseGO. OmiseGO had a spectacular run, 2,500 or so percent, right? 2,500% run in OmiseGO. It has not consolidated that run. It needs to do that, okay? All of these coins that like IOTA that's gone up like mad, I mean, this was only a 300% move, but look at this big consolidation. And then we had the recent market failure, which caused this. But all of these large moves, when you're in these coins, and I was super hyped with OmiseGO, I got in right here at this $8 level, wrote it up, and had a couple of trades, lost a little bit on this pop, and then I just forgot about it because I mean, this thing is just too choppy. It needs to consolidate this huge move that it's had. And it's a great coin. I love the coin. I love the tech. And fundamentally, it's great. But technically, the market is very tired. The market is very tired and it needs to rest. So you're going to see choppy action in IOTA for the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, OmiseGO, not IOTA. I'm sorry. Hey, Dan, what's up, buddy? All of my long-term positions, Dan, have been short-term trades. It really hasn't been any long-term. I don't have anything right now. Vox and XEL for long-term. Yeah, Vlad, I'll help you out, buddy. Was it Vox? Vox. Okay. So in terms of a long-term hold for voxels, whoa, that's a weird chart. Look at that. Look at that crazy price action, then a huge pop, then a huge decline. That is very weird price action. If you want to hold this, I wouldn't make this more than 5% of my account. If you have more than 5% of your account, sell it. Sell the part that gets you down to 5%. And then XEL. I think I have Elastic in here already. There it is. Elastic seemed to be making some moves, and it looks like I was wrong. It's not making moves. This is a coin that will get you in trouble, will chop you up, chew you up, and spit you out, and you will be poorer for it. There's no trend here. This is a trendless market. This is a definition of a choppy market. It's going up, let's buy. Oh, it's going down, now I'm negative. Oh, it's going up, let's buy. Oh, it's going down, now I'm negative. Oh, it's going up, let's buy. And that cycle continues time and time again until you have no account left. Michael, in terms of accumulating QTUM, I can't tell you if it's good accumulation. I don't know what your other positions are in it. I don't know anything about your particular strategy. If you're accumulating something, then I would assume that you have a perceived value in it, and I would just go off of your plan. I can look at the chart, but if you haven't, this isn't the accumulation channel, so I don't want to mess up your plan. That's really the best way to say it. I don't accumulate. I make small trades. If I want to accumulate something, I'm doing it because I'm anticipating a big move coming. So Civic, Neo, and we'll look at QTUM too. I can't say no. QTUM, no. Civic. Told you I can't say no. I can't say no to looking at the chart. I can say no to the chart. Ha ha ha. The evil man with the microphone. Civic, no. What was the other one? Neo. Why are you guys trying to buy coins that aren't moving? Why are you putting your money at risk? Someone answer that, literally answer that question. If you're trying to accumulate a position, if you have a strategy that you're trying to buy at lows and hold for 3 years, that's a fine strategy. But tell me why you're actually interested in the coin. Don't just tell me to look at a chart. I'll do it, but I'm probably not going to give you an answer that you're going to like. So Neo is an interesting coin. I know it had this massive run-up, another multi-1,000% run-up, even prior to this chart. Prior to this chart, it had a multi-1,000% run-up. And it's been in this long downtrending trend line, long consolidation. Looks like you put in a bit of a floor here around the $17 level, $17.50 level. Looks like we put a floor in here and here. And so now we're going sideways. We're about to break this declining trend line, but it's not going to be on volume. It's going to be a very benign break, and it's probably just going to flatline for quite some time. I think new economy movement, I think it's going to kind of do something like this, right? So this one had a huge run up as well. Okay, so let's look at this. So this one had a huge run up. It had kind of a, I mean, you really can't even draw a trend line off of that top. It's so steep. So let's not draw a trend line off of the top. Let's draw a trend line down here. So look at this trend line, okay? So you have this trend line, kind of a similar thing with Neo at this point. Do you see the similarities in this trend line? Because it's, you know, slowly working its way below the trend line. Then it kind of breaks out of it, but it just goes sideways. And then it does have a nice move up, but then it fails again. You can almost erase this. It really didn't matter, except that it lost a lot of people a lot of money, and then it just kept going sideways. So you can't get too excited when these trend lines get broken, but you have to pay attention to them in case it does mean something. In NEM's case, it didn't mean anything. So much the same with Neo. There's not a lot of action happening here. There's just not. It's just very, very benign in nature. Until you see some volume happening, until you see some accumulation, you know, you just keep an eye on it every day. You just look at it once or twice. So Michael says, QTUM and Neo are down because of irrational market scare related to China. Both are expected to grow in value when China unbans, which they have stated they will do after sufficient protections are in. So that's fine. What I will say to that is that my mic didn't go dead. I'm actually trying to think of an answer that doesn't make me sound like a huge dick. So if something is down, because of a China ban, if that is the catalyst indeed, which it probably is, I don't doubt that. Number one, no one knows when they're going to unban. Number one, okay? And then between now and the time it unbans, who's to say the coin won't go down 50% for one reason or another? You're dealing with a lot of unknowns, and it's really hard to trade off of something that's unknown, okay? Now, and this is kind of the point that I try to get. This is the point I try to get through in my channel, which is why you guys, you know, should subscribe and do the alerts so you can, you know, be notified of these live streams and other events that we do and the other videos. Because the point that I'm trying to get across to everyone is that it doesn't matter what the news is. It matters what the coin price does. It just matters what the coin price does. Okay, that's the only thing that matters. Doesn't mean you don't know about the news. It doesn't mean you stay misinformed. But you really need to heed the price action of the coin. So now look, if you like Neo and you like QTUM and you want to take a 2 to 5% position in those and forget about them, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But you know, some people think, okay, this is really cheap. I'm going to put 30% of my account in here and just wait it out. And then they're going to be waiting 3 and 6 months from now. They're down 20 to 30 to 40% and 30% of their account. And you You know, it's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling. In Ethereum at 285, should I sell now and wait for it potentially to go to 300? So if you're in Ethereum at 285, why would you sell it and wait for it to go up $15? That's such a small percentage movement. If you have it at 285 and you plan on rebuying it and it's higher than your entry point, I would just hold it. I would just hold it. There's no real reason to get out of a position for like a 1% or 2% gain just to wait for it to go up 8% more, then buy it again. If you like Ethereum, if you want Ethereum here, you buy it. You have a plan associated with that buy. You know, if it goes above here, I buy more. If it goes below 280, I sell. And then, you know, that's your trading plan. You know, if you want to sell it because you want to sleep tonight, that's a perfectly valid reason to sell it. You're welcome, Michael. And you know what? You used a very valid word there called perspective. And it is a perspective that I have. To be honest with you, it tends to be a pretty valid perspective. But it is just a perspective because everyone trades a little bit differently. No one trades my exact style. I can guarantee you out of the 64 people watching, none of you trade my exact style. So you need to take the information you get and disseminate it and figure out what is valid towards your trading style. Game. George Batista, you're welcome. I'm glad you're learning. That's what I'm here to do, is teach you guys. I really do enjoy it. I get a big kick out of it. I see a lot of YouTube videos out there, and they seem to be kind of hype and fluff. And I mean, and those guys have 40, 50,000 subscribers. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. I guess I'm giving you too good information. Nobody wants to learn that much. Everybody just wants to feel good about themselves and, you know, just hold on to coins that could potentially drop by 50%. Anyway, I got in Litecoin at 60. Should I hold? That is a valid question, so let's look at that. That's money on the line. I got in at 60. Should I hold? Yeah, I say you hold it. 60 is not a horrible position to be in at. We are in a sideways market. I say if you're trading this, I say if it goes below this 51 level with any gusto, you ditch it. See these two lows right here? So we're kind of in this consolidation. It's not really a flag pattern, but if these two intermediate short-term lows, if these get breached to the downside, I say you ditch it. I just say you ditch it. That's my opinion on that. Because think about it, guys. Think about this. So check this out. Let me look at that. I know, Frederick, right? Isn't it? The realest crypto vid stream out there. Which is why it's not very popular, because people don't like realism. They like to be fed that they're freaking smart and special and they're going to hodl till the end of time. So, you know, and I don't have a thing against hodlers per se, but I do have a thing against hodlers that aren't hodlers, that are traders. And close the door there, buddy? Or are you just chiming in?
XDN.
I looked at XDN. What the hell are you thinking? I mean, is it going up right now? Well, let's look at it again. My buddy Adam here, he likes to trade the small coins. Let's look at his XDN. Or are you just trying to pump it to my channel, you douchebag? He left. Adam left. Yeah, it went up a little bit more. Pretty good volume here in XDN. Not bad. Adam's pretty good at spotting these little coins that are going to go up. So he's not too bad at that. Not too bad. I had a point and then Adam messed me up. Thanks, Michael. Thank you. Hey, spread it around on these other freaking channels. Give me some more subscribers so I can do some more fun stuff. I got a lot of ideas, but I'm kind of running out of time and I'm low on funds, so it's all invested in freaking cryptocurrencies. Got to diversify YouTube channels too. Yeah, you know, I've been thinking lately I may do some more videos, kind of more informational, because this is the thing. I do these videos and they're very timely, right? They're about the markets right now. So they're great for you guys, but it's not really good for getting subscribers, because they just 6 months from now they're not going to be interested in a live stream from 6 months ago. So Daniel says that you're amazed I don't use indicators. You find none of them reliable or simply learn to trade without them. Kind of both, as a matter of fact. Kind of both. I find that if you rely too much on indicators, then they can kind of give you false signals. That's been my experience. I've got a buddy that's a really good trader that he uses the RSI and moving averages, and I like moving averages. I haven't found that I like them as much in cryptocurrencies, but I do like them in stocks. I rely on them tremendously in stocks. They're not a primary indicator, but they're definitely right up there with price and volume. I got all Ether, no Bitcoin. Is that a wise move? Hell yeah, it is. That's a great move. Ether over Bitcoin, you know, taking out that I think both of them are going to hell in a handbasket in the short term. I have no problem with you going. I don't like to go all in on one coin. I prefer 50-50, but I'm probably going to go all in on Ethereum when this thing finally moves to the upside at some point. Dillman, hey buddy, how you doing? Been a while. Data Dash live stream. Oh, thanks, Frederick. Yeah, Data Dash. That guy seems pretty good. He's not too bad. He's not too bad. He's okay. Review IOC OK Cash. Okay, where's OK Cash? I've got way too many symbols in here now. OK Cash is, see this double bottom here? I would actually maybe be inclined to take a smallish position here with a stop here at this 10 level, this 10,195 level. So see this low's been tested once. This is the second time it's been tested. So yeah, you could maybe get into a position here just based on the fact that this is a very valid coin that has a pretty good chart pattern. It is double topped. I don't think we're going to exceed that double top, but you could get a nice trade. I mean, 20%. If you go to the middle, about 30%. So not too bad. OK Cash. Yep, double bottom. There you go. That's kind of what I see as well there, Dillman. Good job. Thanks, Kabichi. Appreciate that, buddy. All Ether, no Bitcoin, you too. Yeah, that's fine. I got no problem with that. You know, I actually hyper-focus my portfolio. In my Roth IRA, as a matter of fact, I think I have 4 positions right now, only because I'm trading options, and options can be extraordinarily volatile. So, but I only have 4 positions in my entire Roth IRA. If you don't know what a Roth IRA is, it's a retirement account that I can't touch until I'm 59 and a half at the earliest, I think. But it grows tax-free, so my gains within that Roth IRA do not get taxed. So, you know, if I trade exceptionally well, which I am at the moment, I'll probably double my Roth IRA this year, if not more, and then that'll all be tax-free income. But that's a very focused portfolio. My first position in my options trade was 50% position. Yeah, Crown says, feels like the whole market is dead right now, waiting for King Bitcoin to pick a direction. That's exactly right. Bitcoin or Ethereum are going to have to lead us upward. I don't know if one is leading the other. Personally, I think Ethereum is leading Bitcoin, to be honest with you. I think Ethereum is leading Bitcoin. Eventually, they will diverge again, but it's not right now. And I'm going to have to go here pretty soon, guys. You guys are really, the chat's really good today, guys. Yeah, sorry, Dillman. I do them when I can. I do them at lunchtime. I had a late lunch, so I'm doing it now. And I don't do them too much at night because it's just too loud in the house. Just too loud in the house. I got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and man, are they loud. IOC, please. Yes, buddy. Will do. Sorry, I meant to do that when I got excited about OK Cash. Yeah, that looks pretty decent here. Pretty decent here. Holy bejesus, that's a nice run. What is that, a double? 50%. Okay. Nice, nice. Input, output coin, IO coin. Overall, a really nice chart pattern here. If you're looking to get in here, the answer is no. If you have it, can you sell here? The answer is yes. I can't say you should sell here. Maybe you sell 50%. Very constructive price action here. Very constructive. Not very volatile, not choppy, pretty tight action. You know, you get these big dips, but it's cryptos, it's expected. The volume doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Let me zoom in here a lot. Yeah, see, I have a hard time with some of these coins that kind of gyrate around, but this increasing, so I think I'm going to make a new rule, okay? And you guys can call me out on this if I break this rule, because sometimes I can have a snap judgment on a coin. If we go from no volume to jumpy volume like this, don't let me call it a piece of crap, because when things kind of level out, like you see this one jumped up and then sold way back underneath this level and then bottomed out, kind of handled out here, and then volume increased again. So, you know, any kind of really big increase in these coins at this moment in time could cause these things to run. Doesn't mean you, I mean, maybe you buy off of this because you like the volume, you buy up here, which actually you shouldn't buy up here. You should wait for it to break out on volume. So if you did this correctly and you didn't buy it, you got shaken out, you know, try not to lose track of these coins, because this could be the one that turns around and makes a run for you. So, you know, maybe you catch it over this high, you set an alert somewhere, something like that. But this is a pretty nice little gain. If you buy it there, you're up 43%. So that's pretty good. Aviad, you're welcome, buddy. Would I close out of losing positions and stay in one of the big three? I'm in cash. That's my position. I would always close out of losing positions as fast as humanly possible. Why am I waiting for Ethereum to hit 300? I'm not necessarily waiting for Ethereum to hit 300. That's just a big, large number, and therefore has psychological significance for the herd. And if it's going to move, it's probably going to move around the 300 level just because of the herd mentality. So let's go look at Ethereum. So like I said, I'm not necessarily waiting for it to move above 300. I've actually nibbled at it. I've gotten in and out of Ethereum several times in this little consolidation, looking for something that could be a pop, that ends up not being a pop. And I've taken a couple small losses, but more small gains. I'm down overall about 2%. That's how tight I'm keeping these stops in Ethereum at this point. So 300 mainly just because it's a psychological level. You do have a double top up here at 300. You do have this declining trend line that that's below 200. Or 300 is at 290 right now, and it's going to get, the price is going to get even cheaper in the future. Now, that being said, to be completely honest with you guys, what I feel, and keep in mind my feelings mean precisely dick, okay? I feel that these are going lower. Ethereum and Bitcoin are going lower, and it's going to take the market with it. That's what I feel. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, guys. I could be completely wrong about that. The market can completely prove me wrong, and I'm telling you that because you don't make your decisions based off of my opinions, okay? You don't do that. You don't do that. The feeling I have that is that everything's just really weak. We're not seeing a lot of buying pressure. But that being said, the longer that we go sideways, that feeling is going to change to that we're going to go up, because typically sell-offs happen in a more aggressive nature than run-ups. So like from here all the way down to here, you know, that's a pretty aggressive sell-off versus an uptrend. Uptrends tend to walk up, and downtrends tend to run down. Does that make sense? So you can see how the slope of this trend line from this low to this high, the slope of this trend line is actually a lower angle than this slope. You see that? So the longer that this goes sideways up here, it's going to kind of negate the downtrend just due to time. there's an expiration on everything, and even, you know, potential downside movements can get expired due to time. And if we flatten out and curl out and do some things up here, and we don't move down in a more timely fashion, then we're definitely going to get bullish, and I'm going to get more bullish too. So I hope that kind of explains that. Yeah, DG, I don't. If you short after it breaks. You never short blindly, ever. You never short blindly. You always short. Let me show you some good times to short Ethereum. Like if I were to short this market, I would probably short it. I mean, it sounds good in hindsight. Look, short right here, right? That's pretty good. Short right here, short right here. You know, based off of this action right here, I mean, maybe you put your short in here, but you short somewhere in this bar, and then up here, if you want to, you can. I'm trying to see if I can find like a really good. And this is another reason why it's hard to short. Man, these cryptos, it's hard to find this topping action. There's not enough market makers to really do anything. This would actually be a really good short place right here. See how it came up over this little double top, broke up, and then failed very, very quickly, about 3-4 bars, and then boom, you could have shorted right there, and then everyone thought it was going to break down here, but you short up here, where it's very uncommon. If you're looking to short, you want to short after some kind of a fake move, like a fake move to the upside. That's why I kind of say over here, because you see this top was taken out, then it was faded again. So you want to short up here. You don't really want to, I mean, yeah, I kind of hope you understand what I'm saying. I wouldn't blindly short, because this really could go in either direction. And say this thing pops, you know, pops a ton overnight, you're definitely going to get hurt. Yeah, check QTUM. It's doing nothing. I'm not interested in QTUM at all. If you have a position in it, I feel a little. It's tough. I would take losses there. My perspective is that the market is waiting for Bitcoin to break 4,400 before the money comes flowing back in. As long as that doesn't manifest, everyone is sitting on the sidelines anticipating bears. Let's look at Bitcoin, 4,400. Any specific reason 4,400? Just because of these prior highs, maybe? Oh, that cup with handle. So there is, I think there probably is quite a bit of money on the sidelines. We don't get any, like in the stock market, you can get reports of how much money that mutual funds have in cash. So you can kind of get a perspective of that. But in cryptos, you don't get that. It's all really conjecture. No one's going to tell you how much money they have. So I would really just let the price action guide you, because this is such a visceral market. It really just trades off fear and greed and emotion. You really just have to let the price action dictate. So I think this 4,000 level with this double bottom is a little more significant than this 4,400 level, in my personal opinion. It just looks that way. Number one, because we're underneath that price, so this is our first level to test, which, you know, we broke above it and failed. Looks like 3-4 times, and now we're back beneath of it. So, you know, we just kind of have to wait and see what happens. It's about, so Chuck says it's all about pattern breaking. Yeah, it's about it's about a combination of issues. It's about are the patterns bullish or bearish? How does the volume signature look? Is the selling at the top and the buying at the bottom? Where is that coming into play? It's about, you know, how the overall market is doing. There's a number of factors, like 4 or 5 things need to come in line for things to really make moves. So 5 services, how long could it go at least? What are you referring to? The Ethereum, the market? You talking about to the downside? Are you talking about how long do we go sideways? What are you referring to? Can I check WTC? Sure. WTC. We did Dash earlier. Dash looks very interesting. What's WTC? I don't get it. I don't get WTC. You mentioned BAT. I've got BAT in here somewhere. Basic attention token. We're on the 2-hour chart now, folks, not on the 15-minute, just in case you're wondering. So some nice accumulation here. We kind of broke this little declining trend line. It's a little declining trend line. We tested the entry or the breakout of this trend line right here. Okay, and now we're kind of ramping up. Volume is very benign, though. Volume is very benign at this particular level or point in time. I wouldn't be taking positions in it. Is that the one you said you were upside down on? If you're you're 15% upside down on BAT. So where's you getting up here? Oh, you probably got it way up here. Yeah, there's one thing that's happening, Frederick. You don't want to, when you're at the top, you don't want to buy right at the top. You actually want to buy a little bit out of the top. Okay, you want to buy a little bit over the top. That way this doesn't happen. So since you're already in it, you need to pick a stopping point somewhere beneath where you are now, and then that needs to be the line in the sand. So we can go to the 15-minute and maybe try to derive that. Okay, so we had a little consolidation. We broke above that. We definitely had a low down here at 20, so I'm assuming we got in up here at 26. So you're down 15%. So, you know, maybe you get out maybe down here. Give it a little bit of room in case it pulls back in and then bounces off this area of the 22. Maybe you put a stop down here somewhere and then just call it a day. Just call it a trade. So again, 5, you mentioned how long could it go in Ethereum. Are you talking about sideways action, downward action? What are you referring to? Guys, we got 69 people in here now. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. I got to pump myself up a little bit. You're welcome, Frederick. Always, buddy. So James says, will it break up at the end of the descending flag? Are we talking about, what are you referring to? Bitcoin again? Ethereum? Which coin? Are you talking about this as an ascending flag? That's not really an ascending flag. It's just this kind of a triangle shape, almost a symmetrical triangle. Oh, gotcha. If Bitcoin and Ethereum drop, how low do you think the bottom could be? So I actually have a video on Bitcoin 1200. Yeah, 1200. It's not meant to scare anyone. It's not meant to be clickbait, but it does actually lay out a case where we could see Bitcoin 1200. So go watch that video. We've had a huge run up in Bitcoin. Has gone up 350%, and then 330%. So it looks like we're due a pretty big pullback, and that's really more than a pullback. James says, will Bitcoin break to the upside after the flag? You know what, James? I have no idea, buddy. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. Nobody knows the answer to that. Bitcoin will give you the answer. It will answer all your questions, and your job is to listen to Bitcoin. That's your job. And my job is to teach you enough where you're comfortable listening to Bitcoin. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Does anyone else thinks that makes sense? I like that. So any flag with a prior uptrend is bullish. Any flag with a prior downtrend is bearish. So this, I don't even really consider this a flag. It doesn't have enough points. I was trying to draw a trend line here. I guess you could draw that. I guess that could be your trend line. It's okay to have a shakeout during the trend line. So this is an ascending triangle. Or an ascending triangle, and it's in an uptrend. So this is a bullish pattern. This is a bullish pattern, but can break. So okay, remember I said earlier, anything that you see in a smaller time frame, it can get obliterated at any time by the larger time frame pattern. This is what I mean by that. We're overall in a downtrend. We're overall in a downtrend. So this can get obliterated at any time by the overall downtrend. Does that make sense? Because by definition, if this were up above this trend line, I would say, yeah, this is definitely a bullish signal. Definitely a bullish signal. We've breached this barrier. Now we have a consolidation period or consolidation level, and let's look for it to go higher from there. But living below this trend line here, while it technically it is a bullish ascending flag triangle, it is in an overall bearish situation. It's like a hot chick that's drowning. You probably shouldn't hit on her until she gets out of the pool. Anyway, guys, on that note, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to work. So you can go ahead and quote me on hot chick drowning in a pool. Frederick, any percentage. There's no rules on flags, really. There's no rules on flags. There's just areas of consolidation. Yeah, sorry, Avied. I will be back on here tomorrow as well. The time does fluctuate a little bit, as you've seen. Was the live stream better today than it was yesterday? I did hardwiring today. I just want to make sure that this setup will work in the future. Did you guys notice any lagginess, choppiness? Was volume weird? Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, all 72 of you watching, I will be back here tomorrow sometime between 12:30 and 1:30. Really depends on how my workday goes. So it just kind of depends. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I will see you tomorrow, and I will probably do, I'm going to try to do 2 videos today. We'll see if I get a chance to do that. But past that, I will see you guys on the video tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, Aviad, I'll get to that. I will get to that. I need to do that. Yep, I'll do that, buddy. Thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.